So I'm going to make a quick video here about something that I think applies to each and every one of us, and especially apply to my day today. And that is that we need to fortify our minds and develop the ability to shelter ourselves, insulate ourselves from negative influence, because we do not exist in a vacuum. We have to interact with many different people, and a lot of times you cannot have the perfect environment to feed you with elevated vibration and the necessary energy to keep your spirits high and yourself positive and all these sorts of things. And so wherever you find yourself, your refuge has to be inside you. Cannot be external. You cannot rely upon your external circumstances, because, as I said, we do not exist in a vacuum. And when you find yourself around negative people and you cannot remove yourself from the situation, you need to um, draw upon the necessary perceptions and reconciliations of these external stimuli, and draw upon the storehouse of work that you've been doing to orientate your mind properly. But it must be elevated to such a point where it does not matter what situation you find yourself in, because you've reached a point where that is inconsequential to you. Your refuge can be, you can retreat into yourself and have a refuge no matter what your circumstances are. So this is something that we have to develop and that we have to work on and strive to achieve. Because, for example, today, I was spending time with my family, but certain of the people in my family are they're like black clouds. They're very, they suck the energy right out of the room. The energy vampires, they bring it very down, just by their demeanor, by their outlook on life, by the orientation of their mind and their spirit. Very negative, very cancerous almost. So a lot of times in the past, this would infect my mood and infect my vibrational state and subdue me as well. But I've been working on myself for quite some time now, and nobody's perfect, and we all have to keep striving to transcend the lower aspects of ourselves. But I'm getting better at not allowing these things to penetrate and dictate my spiritual state, my mental state, my emotional state, my physical state, all these sorts of things, that one bleeds into the other. And that's what I want to bring up, because I think it's very important. We find ourselves existing and interacting with the world every single day, and it's inevitable that we're going to be, to some degree, pushed and pulled by it, and to some degree integrate with whatever circumstances we find ourselves in. But we need to be the guards to our souls and our spirits and our subconscious, and stand guard vigilantly, so that we do not allow ourselves to be subverted or swayed by external stimuli and circumstances that don't serve us. And protect yourself against negative influence, because I don't need to tell you guys that it permeates every single nook and cranny of the society and the reality that we exist in. And there are those that desire to bring you down because they themselves are down, and misery loves company. And so whatever you can do to work on yourself, so you can start to get to a point where negative influence does not diminish you and subdue you and subvert all of the virtue that you've been striving to align yourself with and integrate with. So this is a video also to encourage myself to continue to do that, because every day we're confronted with the lower self and the external aspects that seek to strip us of our virtue and align us with vice. So keep that in mind, stay the course, stay strong, stay positive, strengthen your foundations, fortify your, whatever you gotta do. You gotta put a moat out there with crocodiles in the bitch, whatever you gotta do. But we have to protect the temple that is your consciousness, your mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional state, and do not be as a leaf in the wind, this way, that way, always by whatever has the ability to pull and yank at your strings. So keep that in mind. Check out my other videos. If you could like this video, share, subscribe to the channel, I appreciate that. Leave your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, anything you want my advice on, anything you might want my perspective on. If I can lend some uplifting words or some tough love or whatever the case may be, that is for me to discern, but I will be happy to do that, because my desire with these videos is to facilitate, to make the most of the gifts that God has given me, and that is psychology, philosophy, human nature, all these deep philosophical phenomena, and to just uplift and have a positive and profound impact on the collective that I myself am a part of, to explore myself as well, and know that whatever struggles, suffering, trials, tribulations you might be going through, they're absolutely necessary. They're not to be avoided, to be feared, to be shunned, to be neglected, to be any of those sorts of things. They are to be embraced as the ultimate blessings and teachers and instigators of growth that they are, to help you manifest your ultimate self, to facilitate God's ultimate purpose for you, and ultimately for you to be strengthened as the blade that is thrust into the fire is strengthened. There is no strengthening without going through the fire. So embrace it with courage, with humility, with gratitude, with humor, with all of these things, that you are in control of the meaning you ascribe to it. So ascribe to it the proper meaning, and know that it is meant for you to have a profound and positive impact on everybody that you encounter, so you can be what you need to be for those that you encounter. So as I said, check out my other channel, Ray Rivera. I do music and art. Subscribe to that channel as well. I appreciate that, and thanks for watching.